and we'll have this one for you.
Thank you.
And remind me, your name is April
April
Johnson.
Johnson. Yep.
Okay. So today we are going to be speaking about criminal justice. We're in Norfolk, Virginia, and we're here with perhaps a bad time. Okay. So we are here in downtown Norfolk. We're discussing criminal justice, and we're here with April Johnson, right?
Yes.
So what brought you to this event today?
So I was here to speak about mental health, but I am a domestic violence and mental health advocate.
Okay.
So that's how I got asked to be on a panel. Yep.
Okay, so how did that happen? So, do you think that these two issues are related in any way, or are they completely separate?
Well, they can be absolutely. What happened in my case was I was dealing with some mental health that was related to trauma brought on by domestic violence. And what happened is that people are not necessarily informed, trauma informed. So I was dealing with a lot in court, and which was related to my health and my job and my mental health, but also trying to navigate the system for my mom who is schizophrenic, and it just was a lot. And
Okay,
so,
so let's expand on the lack of information that our community has. So, is it lack of communicating what these issues are, or how to address them? Which is it a combination of both?
I would think it is a combination of both. A lot of the times, the system in itself is lacking in providers, it's lacking in um, information, whether or not the person is predisposed to mental health issues, or whether the person is growing into mental health issues and domestic violence related. If you are not showing signs of domestic violence because you're not abused physically, that can be a whole another aspect in general trying to navigate the system because I wasn't physically abused. I was financially, emotionally, spiritually,
Like
um,
manipulated and controlled.
absolutely.
Okay.
So that was a whole just process in itself trying to get police involved. I would be turned away because they would say basically like come back when he hit you.
Right.
Um,
So that's what it is. So there has to
yeah.
be the only catalyst they're concerned with is bruises and physical violence,
Yeah.
and not the things that lead up to those events.
Yeah, they would say, are you in imminent danger? And I was, because things were escalating, but they would say, well, you're not, you haven't been physically hit. And then it got to the point where he didn't physically hit me. He had someone else do it. So,
Which is horrific.
yeah.
Okay, so what do they do? So when you call the police and say I have these issues, they literally said, no, I want to repeat you again. They said come back when they've actually put hands on you and they've actually harmed you.
Well, they basically say, yeah, like, well, have you been abused? And I would say, well, yeah, here's the thing showing, like, he's stalking me, he's connected to my like navigation system, he's sending me these threatening text messages, and they're like, well, this is not enough. This is not enough. Well, come back when you've been like physically harmed.
So how
Mhm.
common is this issue with domestic violence in our community? Is this like a very rare occasion, or is this something that happens every single day?
No, it's extremely common, and as a matter of fact, economic abuse affects 99% of domestic violence relationships, and that's a lot of the times why people don't leave. And it takes like 7 to 8 attempts for a person to leave a domestic violence relationship. And as a matter of fact, the more a person tries to leave, the more harm or the more hostile a person, the abuser gets.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So can we expand more on what financial abuse looks like?
Yeah, so they could be doing things like trying to um
Like use maybe
mess up
like
your work, like they be calling your work environment or come to your work and um hurt, harm you there, or take you to court constantly and make you miss work, things like
I
that.
imagine maybe even compromising your lease, causing problems with your landlords,
Exactly,
leveraging poor credit
or
or
not going
something.
to work themselves, or getting things in your name that you're not going.
Okay.
to know about. So
Are there any other areas within domestic violence that are maybe overlooked or even on the rise? Like you, good?
absolutely spiritual abuse.
Oh, spiritual.
Yeah. So it's in the church where they're like using um verses, Bible verses against you to make you like question your religion. Are you being faithful to God? Are you going to stay in this marriage or in this relationship because you want to be a good shepherd? You know what I mean? A good person. And they will yield will Bible verses at you and say you're not being of a good, person. You're not listening to God. You're not being of good standard. You're not being a good woman. You're not being a good mother. The Bible says this, and you're supposed to listen to it.
So that's a really interesting perspective. I've actually never heard of spiritual abuse,
Hmm.
especially in that respect. It almost seems like a foundation in spirituality is a threat to domestic violence.
Absolutely.
Are there any verses that people could recite from the Bible to help protect themselves from this type of abuse?
I know for me, I would naturally just go and say, like, God wouldn't want this for me. It wasn't like a particular Bible verse that I would hold on to, but I would hold on to my faith that God wanted me to be strong in this, and he would not want me to be hurt in this way. So when he would send me certain Bible verses, I would just say, this is not what this means to him, or sometimes I just a lot of the times would not respond um and give him the attention that he was requesting at that time. Yeah.
Okay. Now, let's go ahead and back up a bit. Let's deliver a message perhaps to any group that may be experiencing domestic violence. Maybe it's women, maybe it's black women, maybe it's men. Is there any particular group that you think that they could take action to help themselves?
Yes, one thing for sure, a lot of men don't come forward because it's like taboo in a sense. Like, men can't be abused. Men are abused, and as a matter of fact, they are abused more often than people think. I think overall, if you are in a relationship and it's not safe um to attempt to take the steps, do not be afraid to contact like the domestic violence hotline. I don't know the number off the top of my head, but there is a number that you can Google and reach out to that hotline. If you're unsafe, there is a number there's a like click, you can remove yourself from the chat, and then it erases itself from the cookies, I believe, so you can't be tracked. But I would just venture to say, contact the hotline, let them know that you're in an unsafe place. And then in Hampton Roads, there's places like the Her Shelter and stuff like that. Just reach out to them and let them know that you're in an unsafe situation, and maybe family and friends too that you
Okay.
trust. Yeah.
So let's say we are a family or a friend, an ally, an advocate. What signs should we be looking for, and what is the best way to help?
If a person is withdrawn more than usual,
Mhm.
just ask them questions and just be diligent about being a good friend. If they're not being open and honest with you and you think they're in an unsafe situation, you can just continue to ask, continue to do things like, hey, I'm just checking on you, just want to know that you're okay, things like that, because sometimes they're embarrassed and they're not going to want to let you know. So you can just continue to just be that safe space for them until they come to you and let you know.
Excellent. I think that was a very well-rounded response. Do you have any closing statement before we wrap it up?
I think that just be mindful of the person's mental health. They're not okay if they're in a domestic violence situation, and just honor that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sorry. Cool. We'll do the handshake for the camera. Thank you so much.